Today, I'll be flying Japan Airlines from Tokyo Haneda Airport to Hong Kong International Airport. I'm very fortunate this time as I'll be flying Japan Airlines Business Class. I redeemed this flight using just 22,000 RVOs from the British Airways program, which is part of the One World Alliance. And before showing you the airline products, let me first show you their newly renovated business class lounge, named the Sakura Lounge. It's conveniently located really closely to all Japan Airlines flights. I've heard lots of good things about this lounge, so I have to come and check it out. The Japanese hospitality, especially in the food and beverage side, is highly regarded in the industry, so make sure to bring an empty stomach coming in. But before jumping right into the food section, let me just show you around this newly renovated lounge first. The lounge is extremely spacious and I came in during peak hours, so it wouldn't be too difficult to find some vacant seats. But be reminded that this section is a quieter area, as later you will see it got really packed in the area surrounding the food section. So one fun fact about the two airlines in Japan, All Nippon Airways and Japan Airlines, both provide lounge access to even their premium economy class passengers. It is extremely rare to see airlines giving out lounge access to premium economy passengers. So this shows that the hospitality providers in this country really want to go above and beyond. And here we are at the food section. Like I said earlier, it's packed in here. But due to the proximity to the buffet, I can't blame them all wanting to sit around this section. And you also get to do some plane watching here and enjoy this panoramic view of the airport. And fortunately, the weather turns out to be really nice. You will find most of the planes on this side of the airport belongs to Japan Airlines, while All Nippon Airways will be on the other side, obviously. We'll talk about planes later, but for now, let's get back to the lounge. Like I mentioned, it's really packed in here as it's breakfast time, so let's just rough it out. The buffet has a good range of selections. For the Western dishes, I think they're pretty standard, such as scrambled eggs, sausages, salad, and chicken wraps, except the lobster bisque, which I'm quite impressed to see in the breakfast buffet, and it tastes really good too. But if you are visiting Japan, I highly suggest you to try the Japanese selections. After all, you're not going to have these items when you visit other lounges in another country. Some of my favorite Japanese dishes are the pork miso soup, beef curry rice, the fish shake pancakes, and the sweet dessert dumplings. They are filled with Japanese flavored custard, and they're so delicious, enough to make me want to visit the lounge again just for this very reason. And don't forget the Japanese-style Western pastry. That taste and texture are very different than what you think. I even took a few to go with me, just in case I get hungry down the road after the flight. And if you need some alcohol to relax yourself before the flight, they have plenty over here too. And speaking of which, it's about time for boarding. In today's flight, I'll be flying JL29 to Hong Kong. It's about a 4 to 5 hours flight, and we'll be flying the Boeing 777-200ER. And along the way, I also saw British Airways 777-300ER. Another thing I want to point out is that if given a choice for airports, always choose the Haneda Airport and not Narita, as the latter is much further outside the city. Japan Airlines has quite a few different types of business class seats, and the one in this flight is the reverse herringbone, a 1-to-1 configuration, which is pretty much a business class standard in the industry. You will find seats like these in Cathay Pacific, American Airlines, EVA Air, and so many more, and it's one of the most practical business class seats out there. Since this flight does not have first class, the entire front cabin is business class only, which has 26 seats. There is a slightly smaller business class cabin behind, which has 16 seats. In a full flight, it's actually better to be in a smaller cabin. But since this flight is not full, I can choose to sit anywhere, and behind us is the premium economy. The business class seat's design uses maroon as a base color, and complemented with black and beige. Every seat comes with personal slippers and blankets, but unfortunately, no amenity kits, as this is not considered as a long-haul flight. I've flown in several airlines with this seat configuration before, and I think Japan Airlines has the most legroom. The Boeing 777-200ER is not the newest plane out there, so you will notice some random wear and tear, which some other flight vloggers have actually pointed out in the past, but in my observation, they're not significant enough to pivot my experience. And shortly after takeoff, the ambient light turns blue, which matches the clear sky I see outside. I'm very fortunate to see Mount Fuji in a beautiful day like this. Take a look. Once we got into the cruising altitude, I was asked if I wanted the Western or the Japanese lunch. I highly recommend the Japanese one. It is the best part of this flight. you simply cannot miss it. And while I'm waiting for that, let me set up my meal tray, which by the way is one of the larger one among business class. At this time, I'm getting really hungry again already. And here it is. Look at that presentation. Every part is so well placed together. Here you'll find a little bit of everything. Even the rice is wrapped so nicely in bamboo paper. Very well done. And it tastes incredible. If this is just their business class meal, I can't imagine what their first class would offer. And by now, you probably noticed that they use this very same pattern in many of their products. After the meal, I wanted to take advantage of the light flatbed, which can be converted by pressing a few buttons. The reverse herringbone seats are very comfortable in long-haul flights, so for this short-haul flight, it is definitely more than enough. The seat itself takes about a minute to become flat, and if you don't want to lie flat entirely, you could stop at any moment. But I'm gonna make it flat and take a short nap. This flight is a rather short one. I definitely wish it could last a few hours more. But anyway, it's time to go. Well, I hope I gave you some good insights as to what to expect from Japan Airlines Business Class. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. And thank you so much for sticking around. I'll see you next time.